Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and loving Donald Trump's trio of town hall crash and burns the same week Fox News tried to own Kamala, only for them to have to place a win in the Harris column.
I actually think this is a different take. I think she had a mission that she wanted to do, and maybe she wanted to have a viral moment. She wanted to have a pushback. She came to Fox News and she wanted to have a go after Donald Trump viral moment that plays on a lot of other channels and on social media. And I think she may have gotten that.
She did. And good on him. While Waters, Hannity, and Ingram were pretending he destroyed her, he was saying she got one on him, and later admitted on air that only the second half of the soundbite was shown. Fox not playing the enemy within comments from Maria Bartiromo's interview. Of all her hosts, I consider him the best of the worst because of moments like this, and his internal messaging in the Fox Dominion lawsuit showed that he was the lone wolf repeatedly saying that they should be fact-checking Donald Trump's claims. Now, to set the record straight on negative comments about Donald Trump exposed by the new book, The Price of Power, please welcome back to the Tommy Campbell Show, Mitch McConnell.
I specifically instructed producers to address me correctly by the combined surname Elaine and I created, Mick Chow. Now, part of the reason I agreed to this was it gave me another excuse to ignore Ted Cruz's request for my super PAC money. I can confirm it was released in a statement, but I'd like to say in person that whatever I may have said about President Trump pales in comparison to what J.D. Vance, Lindsey Graham, and others have said about him. But we're all on the same team now. Those two unloaded on him. Maybe that was the wrong choice of words. They did not empty a clip. And this wasn't the final seconds of a Peter North VHS classic. Well, they had a consistent record of very harsh words, as did I. But I'm using this as an opportunity to use our hatred as a platform of unity. We're on the same page regarding someone I called stupid, ill-tempered, a despicable human being, and a narcissist who can't figure out where his best interests lie. He has every characteristic you would not want a president to have. So I'm no surprise that I would support the Republican Party's nominee. We frequently talk about law and order, family values, and patriotism. But the evidence clearly shows that we have as much interest in those things as Trump has in salads, science, or Tiffany. We just want to remain in power, even if it means backing a Temu watch-selling convicted felon with a string of bankruptcies that wants to date his daughter. We truly are the party of stupid, and this is well documented in this new book. Can I get a bump?
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally. No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Quick comebacks like that aren't on teleprompters. It was fast and funny. His rallies are shrinking, and he knows that. His behavior has been increasingly erratic, and for a proper breakdown of Trump's recent misfires, please welcome back to the show the guy, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, testified under oath before the Foreign Interference Commission, stating that Russian state media has backed Jordan Peterson and him. Good evening, I'm Tucker Carlson, and tonight I'd like to talk to you about Donald Trump's town halls, since he had 3 this week, if that's what you'd like to call them, because the town certainly wasn't there, and the halls were mostly filled with confused and frustrated people exiting the latest dented bowl of word salad tossed with dollar store dressing and broken tongs. Trump saves the golden turd tongs for Eric, not his ramblings aided by a spray tan seemingly set on random and a jar of Ronnie Jackson special Tic Tacs. There were 3 very different events that either crashed and burned or were inspiring and patriotic. But let's start at the first, where Trump was supposed to field questions with the help of Kristi Noem, the over-Botox gravel pit dog killer who looked shocked. but she always does. The same politicians and Instagram health gurus that pay to have botulism pumped into their heads still want you to skip vaccines and question the science. Oh, we spent years avoiding dented and bulging cans. Now I want to put the contents in my head to make me pretty. Please give me the Matt Gaetz melted candle look. Here's some of Kirsty, Creepy Krusty, and Trump.
Russia, Russia, Russia. Eric, the diaper's full.
Donald Trump stood and swayed to the music, and Noam played along looking like a Temu animatronic from a Chuck E. Cheese knockoff. What is that about? Now, if you retain information, if you keep it in your brain, then you remember Donald Trump did say, I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters. Okay, it's like incredible. Was this one of those moments, or is Andy Kaufman still alive? If you saw this happen in a film, you wouldn't believe it, but it happened. A song is a fun way to wrap things up. Sometimes when I'm leaving Jason Boebert's No Questions Woodshack off the 36, password Beetlejuice, I'll play that One Kid Rock song while I'm putting my loafers back on and collecting my things. But I don't hang around with an entire MAGA Spotify playlist while the ugly lights are on and Ted Cruz is complaining about Heidi and promoting his podcast.
I'm the father.
You don't hear that every day.
I'm the father of IVF, so I want to hear this question. I got a call from Katie Britt, a young, just a fantastically attractive person from Alabama. She's a senator. And I said, explain IVF very quickly. And within about 2 minutes, I understood it. I said, no, we're totally in favor of IVF.
He didn't even know what IVF was until he asked for a 2-minute summary. Now, if you want to call yourself the father of IVF, you shouldn't have to have it explained to you by the fantastically attractive fake rage wealthy kitchen lady that named her children Ridgway and Bennett. On the surface, this town hall appears to be an event filled with everyday women. But this was far from the case. The only thing this RNC delegate is undecided about is which Trump watch she wants to waste her money on. But the lady, this one, asking the loaded question was quickly identified as Lisa Colley, president of Fulton County Republican Women. And it wasn't just her. Back before Trump started to go handy bobo on ghost hot dogs to the music, he was asked questions by Angelina. Well, her last name is Banks, and she is a former MAGA Republican candidate in Pennsylvania. If it's a fast food stop with a spontaneous Chick-fil-A interaction with a Trump fan that turns out to be someone connected to his campaign, or a town hall on the entertainment channel for Mary Cousins that fired me for pushing the big lie, it is all fake.
Stay back. You know I was totally against raising your wages, right? Ketchup is going all over that, so get me 17 Big Macs and a pepperoni pizza.
I don't care if you're wearing diapers, Mr. Trump. I'ma hug you.
Oh, wow.
This totally just happened, people.
It's a full one. Are you sure? Okay, bring it in. Squeeze the turd tank. So good. Oh. Wow. We didn't do this in rehearsal, okay? This wasn't in the script, honey.
Got blonde hair dye.
Gonna eat a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big Macs, baby.
Is this over?
Big Macs. How sweet is that?
I make this show 100% on my own thanks to you. If you love what I do, drop me a super thanks, consider leaving me a PayPal tip, or hit the join button to support what I do here. Now, Donald Trump's hot streak, and I'm not talking about the Hershey squirt in his diapers, came to an abrupt end when his team's lack of vision put him at a Univision town hall. Okay, he was just doing the reporting on what he'd heard. What he'd heard from Laura Loomer and J.D. Vance. Last I checked, the Saw villain and a couch pounder weren't journalists, but he himself said he would report back when actual journalists have reported many times that this is simply not true. It is not happening. But instead of saying he was wrong, he adds to it, saying that they are eating other things, whatever that means, and then notes that people aren't speaking the language to someone that is requiring a translator. Not exactly a terrific way to win over a... All know Trump is not even remotely religious, but we do know that he was praying for Kristi Noem to show up Mike Lindell in her medicine cabinet style and begin playing music for him to sway to. Get me out of here now. One of the most fascinating things about this is that this is the longest time Donald Trump has ever spent talking to a construction worker. He has spent his entire career avoiding them, avoiding paying them. But this guy wasn't impressed. Nobody was impressed. Nobody was killed. But Ashley Babbitt was killed. He talks about we. It's an us and them situation. Them being the police, the boys in blue, back the blue, the party of law and order, the people trying to do their jobs, and Trump's group of uninformed gravy seals that are enjoying the found out phase of their life, including bumbling firearms instructor Stuart Rhodes, who was probably most likely definitely entertaining his cellmate with his empty eye socket. That one touched my brain. Go gentle on me. Republicans truly believe this would be a big week for Donald Trump, but it looks like they've placed their bets on a dead horse. Was this all just cognitive decline? Or is he pulling an Andy Kaufman? Or is his track record and lack of intelligence getting exposed via his town hall performances that are like Raw Dog, the Eclipse level of stupid? Truly fascinating stuff. I'm just asking questions. Oh, I get it. This is supposed to be funny, but it's just not. Nice try, dork. MAGA tears. I want competitive and intelligent leadership in the White House. I am voting for Donald J. Trump. MAGA tears. Every once in a while, I stumble across a Whiny Libs video that someone shared, and I just click it so I can give it a well-deserved thumbs down. Great job. MAGA tears.
I did not empty a clip, and this wasn't the final seconds, the denouement of a Peter North classic.
And Trump's group of uninformed gravy seals that are enjoying the found-out phase of their life, including bumbling firearms instructor Stuart Rhodes, who is probably most definitely emptying his cellmate. Emptying it.
Even if it means backing a Temu watch-selling convicted felon with a string of bankruptcies that wants to date his daughter. And I'm being conservative when I say date his daughter. I mean...
Back before Trump started to go handy bobo on ghost hot dogs to the music. Ghost hot dogs, handy bobo. You're not going to hear that stuff on other shows.
A clip, and this wasn't the final seconds of a Peter North VHS classic. The Load Man.
Just doing the reporting on what he heard from Laura Loomer and J.D. Vance. Last I checked, a Saw villain and a couch pounder were journalists.
The Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube, and I hope you subscribe.